This is Kyle D. with Taylor Ryan, here with Steve Darvell today for a 5-minute interview. For those that don't already know, Taylor Ryan is a strategic search and talent acquisition partner. We specialize in construction, real estate and development, and accounting and finance roles. If you're building a team or are looking to make a career move, check us out at taylorryan.com. Let's get into it. Steve has 27 years in construction, most recently 15 years with Bosa Axiom. Steve, it's unusual these days to stay at one employer for so long. So what are the drawbacks of being with a single employer for so many years?
Entrenchment. I think a drawback would be you get used to the ways of conducting business being successful, and in some ways you probably aren't looking for other ways to improve how to go and do business.
What do you think have been the biggest factors in your successful career progression that got you up to that senior VP level?
I saw my 15 years at Axiom and Bosa. I was able to see opportunities and take them. Dedication and hard work. My wife used to joke that when I joined Bosa, I had 2 jobs. One was during the day, managing 3 jobs. It was Highgate Village, 3 projects happening at Highgate Village. And in the evenings, I was trying to figure out what I was doing during the day. So I had 2 jobs. So there was a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work early on. I'd have to say there's also luck. Things seemed to fall into place, and there was opportunity, and I went for the opportunities, and the company was growing, my career was progressing, and it all seemed to work in synergy as kept moving things along.
All right, so having been involved in, I'm sure, a lot of hiring decisions, building the various teams that you've been a part of, what key characteristics or traits are you looking for when you sit down to interview somebody?
I'd say an eagerness, an enjoyment of building things. Truly, we're builders. It doesn't matter your role as, in the field in superintendents or in offices, be it the trailer or the head office in the project management side of the business. I mean, you fundamentally have a need to build, an eagerness to build. You like building things. Especially younger people, you don't have the experience, you don't have the knowledge base. But if you're a quick learner and you have the ability to learn quickly, you can pick up that knowledge like a sponge and absorb it and run with it. Looking for that quick learning, personal, definitely personal, and the ability to communicate their thoughts, especially in an interview process when you're talking to someone across the table, and how easy are they able to put their thoughts together and answer the questions. I sometimes come with some silly questions, 1 to break the ice and 2 to see how they react, but the ability to communicate properly.
What do you think has been some of the most memorable success in your career to date?
I think my greatest success is the progression of some of my teams, some of my people. I think now I can look at certain members of my team that have turned into great construction professionals. And I like to say I have a piece of that morphing into this, from a cocoon into a butterfly. A piece, not all of it, but to see how some of these young people now have taken on careers and are able to execute complicated projects on their own. It's great to see. I think that's my success now.
Yeah. And, I've heard that from other senior leaders in the industry, which is, when you start, you join construction because you like building things and building buildings. And by the time you finish your career, you realize that what you really enjoyed was building people and building relationships and, building your career. And those things all go together to make up, what is the construction industry.
Absolutely. I'll use another analogy. You're in your pine box and it's your funeral. Now, do you want people in the audience there that are, weeping tears, maybe tears of joy, but weeping tears? He was great at building buildings, or are they, or I miss him because I want his advice. I need his help, right? Is that so? buildings are going to stand for the next 100 years that you build, but those building people and have the impact those people have on other people, that's where the greatest success is.
Awesome. All right, let's talk about learning. What have been some of your most memorable learning experiences, or some of the challenges that you were proud to overcome, or that you had the greatest learning coming out the other side?
A lot of people are going to get a kick out of this, but I'm nowhere close as a master of the soft skill, but I'm improving my soft skills. I'm an A-class personality. A lot of people within the construction industry are A-class personalities. Of that majority of A-class personalities, a lot of those people probably they aren't as efficient on the soft skill. So without the soft skill, you're not going to progress into a leadership role within the construction industry. And the last 4 years, chipping away at it, trying to go and improve the soft skill, trying to go and interact with the teams better, trying to go and figure out what their thought process is before mine, right? Mm-hmm. Like what do they need in order to go and execute their work, other than myself saying, hey, what about this, right? To figure out what they need first, right? Yeah,
that's an ongoing learning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By no means a master of it. It will be a lifelong learning process.
How do you maintain high performance without running into burnout? You mentioned before that your wife joked about you having two jobs, which was the job you did during the day, and then you would go home at night and you would plan the job that you were going to do for the next day. So how are you able to maintain that level of performance without just running yourself right into the ground?
You can take the time for yourself. You can sit there and do your 60, 70 hours a week, crunch it all down. You're not going to do that forever. You got to go and sit there and back off. We're now connected to these damn phones. Try to disconnect, turn off. I've got mine set on the side. I love this Apple thing where you can now set up. It turns off. There's no ringing, no nothing. It turns off this and it turns back on there. Take that. Turn off. You have to do that. Even those little recharges that you have, time with your friends, time with your family, spending some time on the weekend for yourself, those, you can recharge your batteries, get up that hump again, and then get to the other side where you have a bit of a coast.
Yeah, nice. Micro recharging. I like it. So after having been in the construction industry for 27 years, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started?
One aspect is a better understanding of what all the trades do. Understand everything from the waterproofer, the below grade waterproofing, to the reinforcing steel, to the formwork. Try to get a true grasp of what all the trades are doing. Also try to garner knowledge of our complete industry. Get an idea from acquisition, cradle to grave, I hate using that, but from acquisitions all the way to customer care and
completion.
Completion.
Yeah.
Just don't concentrate on the construction portion of it.
What's the biggest piece of advice you would give to young professionals in the early stages of their career?
Specific to construction, I always, with some of our new hires, guys fresh out of school, get out of the office. Like, get on the job site, put your boots on, go for a walk.
Get dirty.
The amount of information you can pick up by talking with the foreman of your sub-trades, walking through the building, and understanding how the pieces are moving. It's kind of a fine dance of how things are happening within a high-rise structure, how it's all the pieces are moving. I'd also say, and it can be from not just construction, but different industries, understand what others within your organization are doing. Get that broad breadth of knowledge base that makes you a well-rounded construction professional is of benefit. And I think in other industries too, getting that broad breadth of, be it business development, be it sales, be it accounting, like try to go and get that knowledge base to see how a company or an organization works and functions.
Yeah, I've heard from other senior leaders that attribute a lot of their success to taking every opportunity available to take a lateral step within their company or within their industry to really get that breadth of knowledge within their industry and to really build their career path by growing sideways as much as upwards. So I think you've hit on something really important there. Well, this has been a great conversation. Thank you, Steve, for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Make sure to follow us on LinkedIn so you don't miss our next 5-minute interview segment. Remember, stay humble, keep asking questions, and see you next time.